Hello, all. A very warm welcome to our Learning Guild session today. A couple of weeks back, I ran a poll on our group asking what your biggest challenge is in today's rapidly changing workplace. And the biggest challenge that emerged was keeping up with new technologies, that was followed by learning new skills quickly, letting go of old ways of working, and adapting to constant change. Now, the interesting part is that while these may seem like different challenges, they all require one common capability, and that is learning agility. And here we are because that is exactly what we'll be exploring together in today's session. But before I hand over the stage to our facilitator for the day, Akansha, I would quickly walk you all through the upcoming offerings by Grow with Satori. And if it interests you and you want to register, the links will be shared in the chat. May I request my colleague Ishita to share it as I speak?
Ma'am.
Thank you. Just around the corner, that is as close as tomorrow, we have a much loved session, Once Upon a Leader. This time, we are exploring and reflecting on a 500-year-old Japanese art form, the process of kintsugi, the beauty of brokenness, where broken pot is not discarded but repaired with gold. And then the same cracks become the most beautiful part of the pottery. If you're curious to know what lessons are hidden in this art form as a leader for the leadership that you hold, then do join us for the session tomorrow. Next up is Gift of Growth, our low bono coaching initiative. If you're at a place at your career where you're feeling stagnated, you have spent the last few years getting better at the same job, you deliver, people trust you, but somewhere along the way, I am doing well has replaced where am I going? Then do unlock the benefits of our Gift of Growth coaching initiative this July. The third in our offerings is difficult conversations, the courage to connect, which is happening on August 21st. Now, did you know 69% of managers avoid tough conversations, especially around underperformance, conflict, and discomfort? But staying silent comes at a cost. It comes at the cost of clarity, culture of accountability, and also the relationship that you were trying to protect in the first place. This workshop, Difficult Conversations, is meant to end that cycle by equipping you with a clear, emotionally intelligent structure for addressing performance, conflict, and sensitive issues in a way that keeps both the relationship and the accountability fully alive. Last but not the least, we have an in person workshop at Indiranagar, which is From Conflict to Candor, building conversations that move teams forward. The psychologist John Gottman, he spent decades studying what predicts the collapse of relationships, and the answers to it lay in criticism, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling. And interestingly enough, these same four factors even show up at work, quietly eroding trust, feedback, and momentum long before anyone names them. This workshop, From Conflict to Candor, gives you and your team the language to spot what is eroding trust, the skill to turn conflict into candor, and the confidence to use that candor to lead through change. If any of these workshops excite you, please find more details to the links shared in the chat. And now, something about our facilitator. Akansha, she has spent the last 10 years working across HR, learning and development, and education. She's driven by a passion for helping people learn, grow, and realize their potential. Her work focuses on designing meaningful learning experiences and creating environments where individuals and teams can thrive. She's particularly interested in understanding how people learn, and it's such a beautiful coincidence that today we are talking about learning agility, and this is something that excites her as well. And along with that, what enables lasting behavioral change. Outside of work, she is a board game enthusiast and a language lover. She currently speaks 5 languages and enjoys exploring new languages. Over to you now, Akansha.
Thank you so much, Asavri. It's such a giddy feeling to hear such nice words from your colleagues. So, as she mentioned, I'm Aakansha. I have been working for the past 10 years in learning and development, HR, and education. The current 5 languages that I am aware of and very proud also is English, Hindi, Bengali, Gujarati, and Sindhi. I am looking very forward to learning Kannada, which is my next mountain, if I can say that. So that's what I'm looking forward towards. Now, let's start with today's session. Now, when we talk about learning agility, the first thing that I would request all of you to do is think about the last 5 to 7 years in your work experience. What is the one thing that you have been doing today which you weren't doing previously in your previous role? And if you're someone who's joined recently into the workforce, what is that one thing that you did not hear of before these 5 to 7 years from your, colleagues or from someone who has been in your family, etc., etc.? Think about that and let me know in the chat, or you can unmute and tell me that also. Just one thing that you weren't using then but are using now. AI tools. Srividya is saying AI tools. Yes, definitely. Anything else that has changed? Please feel free to unmute and, share your thoughts.
I think with AI, there has come a lot of speed.
Speed. Okay. More gadgets, screen time. Yes.
Yes.
Shanti is saying more gadgets, more screen time. People are sending laughing smileys also to that. Vivek, Rishav, any thoughts?
I'll add one more.
Please, please.
Reading books. I
Reading books?
used, yeah.
Okay.
So let's say till college, I was in
Mm-hmm.
a situation where I hated books because of few subjects.
Hmm.
And then reading books eventually became a habit. So if looking back at 7 years of myself, I I was in a situation when you show a book to me, I would react I would show weird faces. I'll be like, huh. Yeah, that was my reaction. But now I'm
Hmm.
like, as and when, exploring new ideas and people thoughts and different ideologies by different people, all those inspired me to, make this as a habit now.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. I mean, that's a refreshing thing that I'm hearing. Reading books. Okay, yes, Ishita, please go ahead.
Yeah, for me, understanding human behavior have been really coming out these days, helping me at my work, helping me in every possible way because that's such a dynamic subject to understand. Yeah, and that was
Wonderful.
not something a part that I used to consider a lot um, before 5 to 7 years. Yeah.
Wonderful. Great. So, if I had to bucket certain of these aspects, ChatGPT, as Srividya mentioned, the AI tools, Zoom, something that the platform that we are using right now, was not something that we were aware of 5 to 7 years back. Copilot, working hybrid. Before COVID, that was a situation which we weren't aware of. Okay, you can work from home. Is that possible? But we do that right now. From Madhura, you're from the HR industry.
Yes.
Right? So this ATS, the application tracking system,
Hmm.
is something that has come up now. 5 to 7 years back, it was not there.
Right.
All the people who are using Canva, again, something that was not there. Of course, Canva was developed way back in 2016, but the prevalence or the relevance of that right now has changed drastically. So, what we see is so many things have changed. Now, let me ask you a question. How many of you were formally trained on how to use these tools or how to start working in a hybrid environment? How many of you were formally trained into it? Any formal training?
Mm,
Anyone?
Unless it's hardcore technology, I think the whole concept of formal training itself has died out.
True.
Tools, the term tools itself means plug and play, learn it by yourself.
Very true. So, as Shanti mentioned, they are usually very few hardcore trainings that are happening around it. But we've all gotten accustomed to these things. We did not say that unless and until you give me training, I am not going to use ChatGPT. You've not given me training. I am not an expert. I will not do it. We all embraced it. We learned, yes, we learn it while doing it. And that is the most interesting aspect. Nobody waited until they were completely ready. You learned about it while doing it. And this is what today's session is about. Yes, Ishit. Yes, Shanti, please.
मला फोन केला होता
I just want to
मला फोन
add,
केला होता
I think it was
नाही.
Srividya who said I've started reading more books, and Ishita who said I've started to spend time on to understand people more. I think even those areas are not something that they've been offered formal training, and please correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's a self-initiated thing that I want to learn more about this, so let me explore because there is enough resources available for me to
Resources.
learn from.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. So, learning agility is not about how much you know. It is about what do you do when what you know is no longer enough. In case of Sri Vidya, where she mentioned that, I started reading more because that helped me understand better things. Same goes for Rishita, where she said that my work evolved in such a way that I was more intrigued to learn about the human behavior, to understand those things. Nobody told them, sit and do this. They took the initiative. They understood that they need to evolve with the changing time. And that is what learning agility is. Yes, Ishita, please.
Yeah, just a thought that came across my head when I read this slide. I think we millennials, I'm a millennial, and we millennials have been adapting and figuring out. We never got a formal training, especially of technology. Uh, Starting with the recent thing, AI is something that we have self-trained ourselves, figured it out. This is the time-consuming thing. Okay, this is something AI needs to do. How to make my life easy, and it goes back from. I mean, I remember using CD-ROMs. The before that we used to use DVDs, the
DVDs,
big
yeah.
big size DVDs and
The
CDs we
VCRs
would
were
have
there.
used,
I mean,
and then
yeah,
eventually moved to the pen drives as a storage for submitting our projects and everything. And then things moved to the cloud. Google gave us storage. That also we figured out. And yeah, adding to all these curiosity was Facebook and Orkut at that time. That helped a lot
yes.
to find out, figure out, and everything. Thank you for giving me that space.
Srividya says, I remember I used to fight with my cousin over a broken DVD or a CD. Very true. We've all been there, we've done that. For me, in fact, even LinkedIn, the usage of LinkedIn 5 to 7 years back was very minimal. And now I don't think I can imagine a single day where I don't open LinkedIn. I probably might not open Instagram, but I'll definitely open LinkedIn every day. So the change is so evident. When Ishita was mentioning all this, I got reminded of there's this aunt of mine, and she has kids who are, they're not very young, they are in 11th, 12th standard. And how, how much with open arms she has accepted ChatGPT because now she is training herself on how to educate her kids using ChatGPT. She started doing those things. Okay, she'll ask ChatGPT, make these questions for me. Okay, what kind of answers should I write? And it's everywhere. She knows that she needs to be relevant in today's world, and that's how she's evolving herself. Thank you. Thank you for the share, Ishita. Now, here we are going to listen to a story, a case study by Horst Schroeder. He was a German and a star performer in a company called Kellogg. Let's see what happened to him, how things changed. Why is it called the rise and fall of Horst Schroeder? Please let me know if you are able to hear the audio.
German born
Yes.
Horst
Thank
Schroeder
you.
was an obviously gifted executive. He had been a star performer at one of the biggest
Sorry,
It
just
stopped.
sorry.
multinational companies, Kellogg, for 16 years. Starting out as a controller in West Germany, Schroeder accumulated cross-functional and cross-cultural experience, managing operations in Europe and then all of Kellogg's overseas business. Schroeder was known for achieving consistent and impressive results. The successful introduction of a popular European brand, Mucilix, into the American market was one example of his ability to achieve what many others considered impossible. His outstanding track record proved that he had more than a little bit of the right stuff. This included the willingness to persevere in the face of adversity and to make personal sacrifices for the company. These, along with his vision for the organization, his decisiveness, and many other qualities, made him the most suitable candidate for the president of the company. When Schroeder took on the post, he assumed that he had to continue doing what he had been doing all this time to achieve continuous successes, perhaps underestimating the magnitude of change to the American Midwestern and headquarters cultures. He continued in his autocratic style of functioning. Unfortunately, at that time, the external market demanded oat bran, where Kellogg's forte was in corn and wheat, which led to a fall in the company's market share. This, coupled with a few of his errors in judgment, increased pressure on Schroeder, who supposedly reacted by becoming even more dictatorial and demanding. Performance decline, lowered morale, and resignations of a couple of good people drew the attention of the chairman. While conducting inquiries, no one came to the president's defense. Schroeder was seen as demanding, abrasive, and unwilling to listen to subordinates. Many felt he ignored their input and was intolerant of dissent. He tended to blame others when things went wrong. Outside of work, Schroeder had made no efforts to engage with the other employees. All these in a culture which valued consensus, teamwork, and a willingness to challenge authority. 9 months after he took up the role of president, Schroeder was traveling to Chicago with his wife to have a weekend off. Instead, the corporate jet they were traveling in was ordered to land at the Kellogg Regional Airport, where Schroeder was met by the CEO and chairman of the company. They ushered him into a conference room at the airport and informed him that after only 9 months as president, he was fired.
So, this was the story of Mr. Horst Schroeder, a star performer for 16 years, had many feathers to his cap. But when the role changed, something went off and it led to a drastic change in his behavior and ultimately led to his downfall. This was the news article that was published. He was given a severance of $2 million. And this is a old, like 1989, approximately 35, 36 years ahead. I mean, back. So, what happened? What do you think? What are the reasons, according to you, that his performance dipped?
Not moving ahead with time,
Not moving ahead with
not
time.
being
Yes.
flexible with the need of people, need of audience.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. Yes, Madhura, you unmuted yourself.
Yeah, I just wanted to say the same thing. He should have adopted the new change,
Mm-hmm.
and accordingly, there should be some changes in Kellogg's, the need of the hour.
Need of the hour. Yeah. Yes, Shanti, you wanted to add?
Complacency. I think he got too comfortable with what he was doing. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Madhura, you're sharing your video, but we can't see you. It's a black screen. We
Oh,
would love to
okay. You
see.
want me to on it? Yeah,
There you go. Thank you.
Yes. Oh, nice to
thank
see
you.
you.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so he became complacent. He did not want to change with time, as said by Ishita and Madhura. So, what is it? One thing, if he wanted to identify, what would that be? Things were changing in his organization. He was earlier in Europe, where he was working brilliantly. Now he's also ventured into American and Midwestern, an environment which is completely different. What may or may not work in that particular area, that means Europe, is not the same. It will be completely different as the cultures are different. Then we have people moving from corn to oats. He did not foresee that. And these were certain reasons as to why his performance kept dipping. With that, there was something when I was reading, it also became very evident that whenever there was something wrong going on, he would push the blame to his team members, that it is because of the team not performing is why things have gone haywire. And whenever something good is happening, he's taking credit of it. That was another big reason. So his leadership style, everything went for a toss.
Mm.
The one thing that we understand from this particular case is that he was not willing to change. The willingness to learn something new was very low. The ability was probably there, but the willingness was very low.
Maybe he
Now,
couldn't match with the culture mismatch.
definitely could not match with the culture. Again, something that I was, reading when I was going through this case study. Most of his colleagues, when he started to move and to US and everything, most of his colleagues lived in a certain area. He chose not to live in that area. He chose to live in a
Mm.
completely different area. Took no initiative
Mm.
in connecting with them. Drove a
Mm.
car which was German. He did not adapt to the US lifestyle. So those were also certain aspects that play a role here.
Mm.
Now, when we talk about learning agility, I would like you to scan the QR code. You can submit multiple responses also. I would like to know what is that one word that you associate with learning agility. Hi, Rizwana. Hello, Shalab. I'll wait for a couple of minutes and then I will display the result. Okay, so I will display the result now. Adaptability, the word cloud of adaptability is pretty high. Curiosity, growth mindset, open to feedback. Are you in the market? Stay updated, evolution, flexibility, KYC. Okay, know your customer. Yeah, openness, resilience. Beautiful. I hope you can see the results that are coming in. So we see these words when somebody's still typing. I'll just wait for the experiment. Wow. Thank you. So all these words that we see here, where adaptability feels like the top one to be there. Be okay with failure. Open to feedback. Nice. I'll stop sharing this for a bit. Now, all these words that came up, we saw that they are working, but are these all leading to learning agility entirely? What I mean to say is, all of them, none of them are right completely, and none of them are wrong completely. They are all beautiful pieces of a puzzle. They together combine and give us learning agility. It is not just one of them. If you have the growth mindset, but you lack the resilience, how long does your growth mindset last? If you're willing to receive feedback, but are not willing to act on it, how long does your acceptance of feedback last? So, all these things that we just saw, all these beautiful answers that just came in, they together form a beautiful necklace of pearls, if I can put it like that. And then we get the entire thing of learning agility. Please allow me a minute to share my screen. I'm sorry, I'm just facing some trouble sharing. Okay, I am facing some trouble sharing my screen, so I will proceed a bit without sharing the screen. I hope that's okay. Thank you. So, learning agility can be defined as the ability and willingness to continuously learn, unlearn, and relearn. It is the capacity to grasp new skills and apply them effectively, to solve problems in completely unfamiliar and ambiguous situations, and the rapidly changing environment. 20, 30 years from now, the organizations were competing on scale. Economies of scale was an important factor. All these manufacturing units that are there, economies of scale was a huge factor then. So they were competing on that. Then it became talent, where talent management, talent acquisition took over economies of scale. And now it has moved towards who can learn the fastest? Is my workforce equipped to learn fast? Are they willing to change with the changing times and even faster than the changing times? Those are the things that are becoming important now. Yes, I think I can share my screen now. So, this is the definition of learning agility, as we can see. I hope you can see. Thank you. Now, a wonderful activity that we're going to do. If you have a pen or a paper near you and can take that, I would like you to think about from your career start to today. Think of three aspects or three incidents: one of success, second of a setback, and third of a major change. I want you to analyze what happened in that situation. What did you learn from that situation? And how does it change the way you work today? A success scenario, a setback, and a major change.
So, start of the career till date. Um,
Date. Yes, till date.
what was one major success and one major
Major success.
setback? Oh,
Yes.
understood.
Once you are done, please give me a thumbs up so that I know that we are good to proceed. Okay, Shanti is done. Anyone else who's done? Okay. I think people are still working on it. Okay, Ishita is also done. Anyone who would like to volunteer or like to have a conversation with that person? Okay, Srividya, yes, please.
For me, the success was getting my job. I
Mhm,
see that as my first step towards success. And what
mhm,
did I learn is not just technology, but also different ways of management, functionalities, business, everything around career, not just sticking up with technology. And
mhm,
how did it change the way I work today is, so I understand that technology is not a major role to play, but all the roles together has some importance for business success. And in between, I had a setback where
mhm,
I observed it very late, I would say, that my level of work and learning both got saturated. So
mhm.
I was into technology called mainframe, which is an old technology where I used
Okay.
to work on COBOL
Mhm,
and coding and stuff. But I realized that there was nothing new that came up in that technology, and it was very stagnant. And the setback led me to a major change where
mhm,
I completely shifted from an old technology to a niche technology, nothing in between. So it was a great jump, I would say, um, which uh, which led me to learn more things in the front end basis. Now I'm a Salesforce developer,
Mm-hmm.
so it is kind of a way opposite, I would say, two extremes.
Mm.
Between the learning journey of these two, or shift from these two extremes, the learning journey was very good. It was not a peak, but there was many ups and downs, because from a background of old technology to learning or being an expert in something new, um, I have to put up a lot of efforts to unlearn and learn things. So that was a great learning experience for me. And yeah, today I stand as an expert in that area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Wow,
that's it. Thank you.
wonderful. So, Sri Vidya's share was like a story. It went from success to a setback and then a major change and has shaped how she is today. Anyone else who'd like to share?
I can go next.
Yes, Ishita, please.
Yeah. Um, One of the most unexpected success and happiest success that I felt that I received was after quitting my uh, job after my for my maternity leaves. I wanted to take a break, and then I decided to pause it for some time. And during that time, when I after that time after my maternity break, when I started looking for a work opportunity, it was my ex boss and ex colleagues who were vouching for me everywhere possible. Um, and it was completely unrequested, unasked for. My ex manager was working in a different organization at that point in time, and even she was giving me the opportunities. Does this charm you? Does that charm you? I had a very few. I had a very selective area of work at that point in time, so that did not work, of course. But then um, it was more than a success to me that maybe at that point in time I thought that this is because I'm lucky to have these type of people around me. But I also eventually understood that these are the relationships that I have built in a particular place that has also reaped its benefits at some in this stage of life. One setback that I realized at a different point in time in my career, that I have um, learned a lot of things, and I'm curious. I'm a curious human by nature, and with that learning, I was feeling too overwhelmed because it was not returning anything back to me, and that was the time I decided. What did I learn answering to that setback? For that setback, I learned to make sure my learning has a pathway,
Hmm.
that I will do this because I have a because of a few things. I still keep putting my hands in this and that and whatnot, but then everything that will get my dedicated time and attention um, should have some benefits that I can think about. Uh, though I still believe other way around, because my mother pushed me to learn classical music, and I always used to complain that it was sheer wastage of my time. I could go out and play with my friends. You stopped me from doing it. But when I got some money from freelancing voiceovers, I realized that, yeah, okay, nothing goes for waste. No learning goes for waste. And a major
Absolutely.
change that has come across is I have started being more mindful in the present situation about the people around me, with all those setbacks and successes that have come my way. And that has really taught me to to read read people around me. What do they need? How should I put things across so it is easy for them to understand, to make sense of what is happening? So yeah, that was a major change.
Wonderful. Thank you for the share, Ishita. So I know we've not discussed with everyone, but I would like all of you to think of which of these event, a success, a setback, or a major change, would you say brought, or rather, you learned the most from? Which of these is the one that you learned the most from? Just would like a name. Success, setback, change, setback. Srividya says setback. Any other thoughts? For Shanti, it's change. Asavri, Madhura, Vivek, Rishav.
I
Even
think
if we've
the
not
change.
spoken about it, yes, please.
Yeah, through major change.
Change. Okay. So all these setbacks have brought in some kind of change in our experience or how we are going to move forward from it. But what if that change happened and you did not go back and reflect on that change? Would you learn anything then? For setback for Srividya. If that setback happened, but you brushed it under the carpet and you decided not to learn anything from that. Decided that I don't want to go back and reflect on it. It's happened. Let's put it out of my mind and let me move forward. Would learning happen then? No. Shanti is saying no. Any other thoughts? Would learning happen? Yeah, Srividya.
Let's say if I don't choose the next action, and let's say if I say that let me go with the flow, then
Mm-hmm.
also I feel learning will happen because I was such a type,
Mm-hmm.
like go with the flow kind of. I have
Mm-hmm.
learned that not all the time go with the flow will work. So I feel that is also a
Mm-hmm.
learning.
Okay. Yes, definitely, definitely is. But let me ask you one question, Srividya. Now that you have moved and went with the flow, and you come across a situation or a scenario which is similar to what has happened with you previously, does that change your thought, or does the previous experience come back to you that, this is what had happened earlier? I need to do something different this time. Did that happen to you?
Yes.
So that means you are reflecting.
Yes.
So change is happening. Yes. You went back and reflected, if not immediately, when you were in the future. Yes,
True.
Ishita. Yeah. Thank you, Shrividya.
The lines what you shared, Akansha. If it usually happens to me if I'm not closing the loop of
Mm-hmm.
any learning, any setback, or any success, usually usually it haunts me while brushing my teeth, before going to bed, taking a shower. The memories keep coming back, and probably that's the brain's way to let you um, channelize. Okay, what is the outcome of it? This experience, I guess.
Yes, very true. What did I learn? I mean, this has happened for XYZ reasons, maybe, but what can I take from it and move ahead? There was a beautiful story that I was listening to. It was an incident, actually. Um, so the incident goes, there's this one person. He is from a small town in Gujarat and he's moved to Dubai. And he's gone to Dubai, he's earned and done very well for himself. He calls his uncle from Gujarat, small town in Gujarat. He calls him to Dubai that please come and visit me. The uncle is like, yes, of course, why not? So he's come there and he's very happy with his nephew's performance and how well he's done for himself. And they're traveling in a swanky car, which is owned by this man, and absolutely enjoying the ride. Suddenly, there's a car accident. He bangs his car with another car. And he's completely baffled. Oh my God, what will my uncle think? And, so on and so forth. The uncle is sitting inside the car enjoying himself. Then he goes inside and talks to this man. What happened? Why aren't you reacting to it? He said, see, I am from a small town. I have never seen such such a car, such a beautiful car, which has so many buttons and everything. And all this time, while I was in this car, I was wondering, how does it stop? So, what I learned from this story is that even when we are the driver, there are two kinds of brakes that are going to come. One is going to be an external brake, which was the car accident. And the second is an internal brake, which is where you apply the brakes. So either it can be a success, a setback, or a major change, which are the external brakes. Or you can pause, think, what can I do next? The car is yours. You are the one driving it. Choose which way do you want to move forward. How do you want to move forward? Do you want an external brake to be applied and then think about your next steps? Or you would like to apply that internal brake intentionally and then move forward? All of us, sorry, I just skipped. All of us are agile. We all learn. It's just how we learn when we learn. Now, understanding, can we develop learning agility? Now, learning agility is made up of two important things. First is the learning ability, and second is the willingness to learn. Learning ability would be the necessary or the essential cognitive competencies of a person. Do you have the basic IQ? Do you have a mind which can identify patterns, which can understand certain logical rules, can read data, can understand the trends? That's your cognitive competency. But what is even more important is your willingness. Do you have the aptitude that supports this learning? The behavioral competency, do you have that? An individual's orientation to learn is determined by their behavioral attribute. Are you open minded? Are you conscious? Are you curious? Are you inquisitive? That is what is going to lead to learning willingness. Any thoughts on this? Okay, moving on. So, what is not learning agility? Intelligence. Yes, you have the high IQ, but that does not guarantee that you're going to be a person who's learning agile by nature. I have the IQ, but I don't want to change. I know I'm intelligent. I'm happy that I am intelligent, but let me be where I am. Please don't push me to do something. Expertise. Expertise is wonderful, but expertise can become rigid. If you rely on your past success so much that it hinders your look towards the future, that expertise is of no use. Growth mindset. Again, something that's very important to be a learning agile person. It's a mindset, it's a belief. I have a growth mindset. Yes, okay, I want to learn this. I want to learn this and I know I will learn this. But that's it. I'm very content thinking that yes, I am willing to learn, I have no problem. But I have not taken any action towards it. I do not take any steps forward in that direction. Then does learning agility come? No, because it's an observable behavior. If today I decide to do something and I have that mindset to achieve it, but I take no steps towards it, it is not something that is going to help me in any way. Lastly, curiosity. Some of you had also written curiosity, in the word cloud that we were doing. Okay, so I'll give you an example here. Recently, a colleague of mine, she shared an AI tool where you can train the AI to use your video, like to train your voice. I was like, okay, how do I do this? What can I do from this? I've got the information. I'm curious how it'll work. But if I'm just curious and I leave it there, it'll not help. So what I did, which I think some of you might have noticed also in the start of the session, The horse Schroeder story was an AI voice of mine. I took that opportunity that yes, somebody has done some research on it. Let me take it. Let me see how I can build it. I've heard of Canva. I've never had the opportunity to use it till now. So the entire video that was there with the audio is something that I have went and created on Canva. My curiosity with that actionable item is what made it forward that I could take it to a learning agile state. Any thoughts on this? Have you experienced or done something recently which helped you become learning agile?
I can share an experience.
Yes,
Uh,
Ishita, please.
in one of my previous organization, after a colleague left the organization, we met her during an annual function, and we were asking her how is your work going in the new place and everything. And while we were talking, it was an annual function, and it was just a hello, hi, meet and greet type of a environment. Uh, while she was sharing how her work is and what tools does she use in her work there, she spoke about a couple of platforms which are often used in marketing. Although my work did not revolve around marketing at that point in time, but then out of curiosity, I came back home, just Googled what is this, how does it work, and uh, yeah, I did not use that information at that point in time. And then later, maybe after many years, then when I looked for an opportunity that, okay, let me see if this can be used here. And that really helped. So somewhere that curiosity really help you. I mean, in case it is not helping you at that particular point in time or your role at that point in time, but it is going to be there with you somewhere throughout your life. But then I also think about it that out of curiosity, I put my hands on 10 different things. And the fun part is you ask me tomorrow, what did you research today? Because tomorrow I will have two more things to look for, research about. I do not have the habit of writing it down and I forget. Even some of
Hmm.
my colleagues say that, oh, Ishita spoke yesterday, but she will not remember it today. And I have this big problem. So, curiosity without an action, like you mentioned, I should start writing it down so it reminds me of what I did, what I spent time on.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Ishita. When we say that experiential learning is the best learning, so if I was curious and I did a little bit of research on it, but then I keep it aside, I park it in some corner of my brain. That, okay, I'll revisit it. I might end up forgetting it. Any other thoughts on this?
Visual action, one more thing reminded me, if that day if I would have only heard about what she was using and wouldn't have came home and googled about it, I would have never remembered it. Since I googled it, it somewhere it caught my attention.
Yes, of course, 100%. So even that was an actionable item. You going and Googling about it, reading a little more about it. If today I say, okay, this tool works wonderfully, if I ask someone, okay, this is wonderful, how did you create this? They tell me, okay, this is what I did, and then I did this, so on and so forth. I was like, okay, sounds nice, I will also try it. But then after this, me saying I will also try it, I did not take any effort in that direction. Then it is not an actionable. So, what are the characteristics of a person who's agile? Any thoughts? What could they be? It could be you
Desire,
or someone. Yes, please.
desire to learn, get better at
Desire to
what
learn.
you are doing.
Yes, desire to learn.
I'll add one more layer to what Asavri mentioned:
Mm-hmm.
desire to learn, unlearn, relearn,
Yes.
kind of a thing.
Desire to unlearn, learn, and relearn. 100%. Any other thoughts?
Person must, I mean, such a person must be keeping herself or himself up to date about the changes happening all around.
Up to
Being
date about the changes? Yes. Rizwana, Srividya, Rishav,
Curiosity to learn new things,
willing to learn new things? Yes.
willingness to learn new things.
Willingness to learn new things.
Experiment.
Experiment? Yes.
seeks feedback.
Seeks feedback. So
Take
if I had
risk.
to, yes, sorry,
Take risk.
take risk, yes, definitely. So unafraid to challenge the status quo. This is how this process is working. That's great, giving us the necessary results. Wonderful. But is there something that can be done to make the process better? Can I do something about it? Can I save the time of my colleagues by doing something? Srividya is saying being agile, according to me, is being mindful to situation to make decisions. Yes, being very mindful of what is the situation and how do I or what do I take from it? How do I proceed with it? Remains calm in the face of difficulty. Sometimes that's very difficult to achieve to remain calm in the face of difficulty. Most of us, at least I'm talking about here myself, I feel like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I start moving around like a headless chicken. So, remaining calm in that situation, that yes, it's a difficulty. Let me think on it. What can I do? How can I proceed forward? Takes time to reflect on their past experiences. Something that was said that, learning from their experiences, whatever they've done. Again, open or willing to learn. Something that was said by Rishabh, being very willing to learn. Purposefully put them in challenging situations. This is the key factor of an agile person. They on purpose be in situations which they are probably somewhere sure that I might fail. But they say it's okay. It's okay if I fail. I don't have a problem with it. But let me see what do I learn from that. Resist the temptation to become defensive in the face of adversity. If we go back to the case study of Horst Schroeder, we did see that he became defensive when he was dealing with adversity. He started blaming his employees, or rather, the people who were in his team, started becoming more dictatorial and defensive. This is not the characteristics of an agile person. So, when we talk about these, there are certain things that work as an enabler, which again are characterized into something very similar that we just discussed about. Innovative, somebody who's willing to challenge the status quo. You are innovative in how you want to proceed, what you want to do. The goal is to change the long held assumption that this is how it is going to work. And innovation requires experimenting, which was said by Ishita. You need to experiment. Is this working? Probably. Is this working? Probably not. But let me experiment with it. Let me see what happens. Learning agile people generate ideas constantly and they view things from very different angles. Somebody who's a performer, learning from experiences occur most often when overcoming an unfamiliar challenge. But in order to learn, the individual must be engaged, handle the stress brought on by ambiguity, and adapt to it. For this, understanding data, for example, those things are important. How do you perform in such situations? Are you a person who's able to overcome these challenges and then perform? Reflection. We spoke about incidents where, like we spoke to Sri Vidya or Ishita also shared, that when facing that setback or success or that major change, they did go back and reflect. What is it that I learned from this? Did I learn something important? Is it something that I should take forward? Did this work? Did it not work? What should I do going forward? And lastly, a risk taker, which was again something that we discussed, that you or an agile person needs to be a person who's taking risk, who's willing to take risk. When we talk about risk, it is not a thrill seeking, it's not bungee jumping, wingsuit flying. That is not the kind of risk that we are talking about. The risk that is being spoken about is the willingness to fail. You try it. Will I fail? Probably yes. If I'm trying something new, the first time I might fail. Probably the 10th time also I might fail. But do I stop at that? No. Because every time I try, I learn something different. I was listening to a podcast where this person, he's a millionaire. I can't recall his name at the moment. This person's a millionaire and he was in that podcast. Currently, this is his third business. He's saying, my first business, from zero, I became a millionaire, but I did certain things wrong and I again went back to zero. I did my second business. Again, I became a millionaire, went back to zero. Today, I'm at my third business and I am a millionaire. Who knows, I might not be a millionaire tomorrow. But what I have created here is going to stay with me forever. I am never going to go back to zero from here. I keep learning from each and every incident. Each and every business of mine has taught me what to do next. I am mind rich. I may not be money rich, but I am definitely mind rich. And this guy is an Indian, but he settled in Africa. So, this is the kind of people who are learning agile in nature. They are risk takers, they reflect, they innovate, and then they perform constantly. And there is only one derailer to learning agility, only one. But it is the biggest one. That is defending or deflecting. Had this person have a mindset that, probably Africa is not the place, it's not the environment in which I will thrive, or I did not hire the right people, or probably my team is not the right one. I did not get the opportunities at the right moment. In my past, my parents did not enable me in the right way. All these things are derailers. You're either defending yourself or you're deflecting the blame on somebody. A person who's learning agile by nature does not believe in deflecting or defending. Any thoughts on this? Defending and deflecting are also primary reasons for people not being able to receive feedback. Yes, very true. And hence are unable to grow. Yes. Anything else on this? Do you see these enablers, derailers in your daily life? Do you see them?
So sorry, Aakansha. I was actually on a call with a client, so I couldn't speak up in between.
No problem,
So,
Rizwana.
yeah.
Go ahead.
So on enablers, I think one of the things I just wanted to put forward is, the leadership, if they are, giving a good message or a communication is open and they are able to communicate to their employees and delegating the things properly, I think that's one of the signs that they are the enablers. uh,
Definitely.
and derailers are ones where I think we come across the people talking about micromanagement and failures, where they feel too much being involved into day-to-day activities and all. I think that actually can be considered as derailers, which we commonly see across our work on day-to-day life.
Yes, very true. Thank you for the share, Rizwana. Any other thoughts on this?
To me, an agile person is coming across as somebody who is a problem solver,
Mhm.
which allows him to not deflect or defend.
Yes,
Very objective.
very true. Problem solving is also one of the important competencies. That's
Hmm.
learning ability. Your ability to look at a problem and then see how can I solve it? Is there one way? Are there 10 other different ways that I can do it? If yes, I might not use all the 10 different ways, but let me still think about it. Let me see what are the variable options that I have available.
Right.
Thank you, Savri.
Thank you.
Anything else? Ishita, would you like to share something?
I want to, but then I'm thinking, how do I put it forward so it makes sense? Somewhere I feel the reflections from even the derailers help you become a better problem solver or become a more agile person towards learning.
Mhm.
Um, but then there has to be a good amount of reflection on the derails too. It may feel like a missed opportunity. It may feel like a ego clash, with the lack of a better word.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we deal with human every day. Bringing yourself back that okay, their truth versus my truth, and and then moving beyond that towards the goal. Uh, and kind of these derailers also, when piled up and reflected upon, can help people to move forward towards more agile form of learning.
Mhm. So let me ask you a little bit more on this.
Hmm.
For example, this person is using some derailer at
Hmm.
and saying that this is the reason why this happened, XYZ,
Huh.
why I could not perform or why the project deadline moved,
Hmm.
etc.
Hmm.
But when this person is deflecting the blame and is not doing reflection,
Hmm.
does that still make this person agile?
No, without a reflection, without the understanding of, without the FOMO,
Mhm.
that that ability will not build up, that skill will not build up.
The skill will not build up. Now,
Because how much will you blame on Modi, God, and husbands? No.
okay. Okay, true. But if again, I don't want to get into the politics of it, but
Mm.
just trying to understand your thought here.
Mm.
A person, when we speak about derailers, it's a person or a trait rather that a person is exhibiting
Mm.
to say that I am not at blame. Let's
Mm-hmm.
say you said that my mom had put me into classical music,
Mm.
and I was like, what is this? No use.
Huh.
But then later on, I realized that no, it did help me because when I was freelancing, it became an opportunity for me.
Mm.
But if had you held to the fact that you wasted so many years of mine by putting me in classical music, I
No.
could have learned something different. But you did not allow me that time, or you did not allow me that space to make a choice, and hence this is happening wrong because of you.
No, certainly not. And probably if anyone reaches that mode, then they are stuck at that level. Then they won't be able to explore. Let's see, let's explore, let's figure out that thought may not ring a bell to them.
So when I spoke about derailers, what I was trying to convey was something that you're defending or deflecting to save yourself, to save face.
Hmm.
If at that situation you wanted to save face, and you said so and so, but then later on you went back and reflected on it and thought that no, what was being told was right. I am wrong. Then you
Mhm.
naturally moved from the deflecting area to the enabling area.
Yeah, makes sense because if I was stuck with the derailer, then probably I would have still blamed for wasting my time because I'm not a professional singer. I never aspired to be. I still don't have any such dreams. I am good at singing lullabies for my daughter and putting her to bed, and I'm happy with that. If the voiceovers bring some money, I'm more than happy with that. So probably I am more into the enabler side and not the derailer side,
Derailer side.
because of which I'm able to embrace the fact that okay, whatever has happened or whatever time I have spent in learning has helped me today. Thank you.
Thank you. So here are certain things that we do when we are talking about, again, it's enablers and derailers here. I would like you to see, is that something that you do or you don't? Take risk. It could be anything. Are you a person who is trying to enjoy the moment and struggling with the situation? Or are you a person who is happy that, okay, things are set and this is what I need to do? I need to go from A to B and that's it. I don't want any changes. Do you take on challenges where you know that you may or may not succeed? Or do you take on challenges where you are 100% sure that, yes, I will succeed? Of course, being in a situation where I will succeed, having a faith is different. But here, what I'm talking about, taking up challenges only when you know 100% that I'm going to succeed. Do you identify any of these, or have you noticed yourself falling into any of these? Mhm. No thoughts?
I have been a person who, sorry, Shanti ma'am wanted to speak something.
Go ahead, Ishita, I'll go after you.
Well, I have been a person who used to jump into a problem solving situation and then find out what is the risk. Um, and But now I am more towards a calculated risk person. If I see the
Mm-hmm.
risk is higher, I will tell it to everybody who has a stake on it. And I see this, I see this, I see this, I see this, and then move ahead. And I am
Yes.
loving this situation that I am in. But then, yes, there was a time I used to jump in the swimming pool and then realize, oh, do I know how to swim or not? Uh, yeah. And that was equally interesting. But I think this is a way easier way or a more informed way where even people who have high stakes towards something are also more comfortable knowing what to expect in the future. To you,
True.
Shanti.
Very, very similar. I think I was tempting to take challenges where I know I can succeed. It's not that I can succeed, it's that the risks are well mitigated, and I know if this happens, what will I do? If this happens, what will I do? So I think I go in far more prepared. If I don't know how to prepare myself, I'm nervous and possibly will hold back.
Hmm. Very true. So when a learning agile person is getting into a risk situation, he knows that he may fail, he may succeed, but he is making sure that at least he's giving it a try. If it's a very, as Ishita mentioned, that if it's a situation which is high stakes, then informing the concerned parties that, see, this is the first time I'm going to do it. I may fail, I may pass. I don't know, but I'm willing to give it a shot. But that itself is going to teach you as a learning agile person that yes, I can do it. You may end up come out with flying colors and you're like, oh wow, I did not know I could do it. Pat on the back.
Yeah, I think one of the experience I would like to share, in the early stages, or I think I had a project in my hand which my client asked me to pick it up and do it. And the certification is, like a quality green belt certification is the end outcome of that project which was offered to me. And at that point of time, it's through GE, and it was so prestigious to have that kind of certifications in place. And I was very, very scared to take that step because it's a risk. Because I don't know all the quality tools. Should I take it up or not? Or if I don't do it, I'll fail. But I want to do it, but I'm scared. But slowly picked it up, started doing, multiple times changes were requested, multiple angles were changed to how to work on it, how to approach the problem, how to get the solution. I think it took 6 to 7 months just to redo everything and come back, redo everything and come back. In between, I was giving it up and then again moving ahead. And end of the day, I could achieve the results. I got the certification. But the surprising part was when I could, after completion, I got that confidence, and I had 4 people along with me who were under my team, under me, got those certifications done at
Wow.
much more earlier stage. So that's, first doubting myself and then taking the risk and moving forward and then helping others. Actually, it changed the way how that we approach the things. But when we mentor others to do it, we know what kind of risks come in. We can give them a red flag that these are the things you need to look at. These might come up and you need to be prepared for those things. So that's how the approach changes when we are doing ourselves for the first time, and then when we repeat that and start mentoring others and helping others to do it, and ourselves when we take up the same kind of challenge in
I think you went on mute, Rizwana.
No, I think that's all I had to say. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. It's always really nice listening to your experiences, Rizwana. Such a learning from all your experiences from the previous sessions as well. Really love listening to your experiences.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Srividya says that I still love to know the unknown. Oh, nice. Srividya, can you elaborate? I love to know the unknown. I love the statement. I want to know a little more about it. Am I audible, Srividya? Probably we'll come to that a little later. Okay. Now, reflection. Probably one of my favorite ones is reflection. Make time to critically reflect on my experiences. So, taking Rizwana's example here, she took the risk, she failed, she paused, she went back and started doing it again. So, she took the time to reflect on her experience. So, do you, as a person, move and critically think on your experiences, or move, no problem, Srividya, or move quickly from one task to another to accomplish more? Examine past failures or lessons, or put failure quickly behind me in order to focus on the next challenge? There's nothing wrong with moving ahead. This is not what it means. It's important to have the space to, move ahead in life. But are you taking something from it? Are you learning something from it? Are you taking that, okay, this did not work? Probably I should be a little more aware while venturing into this now. I don't want to fall into the same trap. So, are you reflecting on your experiences or quickly being like, yes, I know I did not do well in my presentation. Let's not talk about it. Please, let's move ahead. Or are you being like, yes, I know I did not do well in my presentation, but I am willing to listen to your feedback. Let me know what I can do, and I will hence move on from here. So, which of these two routes do you follow when you're reflecting? Shrinu, Ashwin, would love to hear from you also. Any thoughts?
I do dwell a bit on the past failures, but it's that immediate impact of failure. Oh my God, what happened? It happened last year, 6 years ago, 16 years ago. That does happen momentarily, but more often than not, it's about, okay, what can I do now? Reflection on the current scenario.
Nice. Thank you, Shanti.
And
Next, yes, please, Asabri, go ahead.
and also, when you're analyzing your failure, there are chances, because I have fallen into that trap of having analysis paralysis. So even put a timeline to that analysis and dwelling into the failure.
True, very true. That's why I said that moving on is very important. If you're
Yes,
stuck there, if the story that I told about that millionaire, if he was stuck after losing his first business, that, oh, I was a millionaire, now I'm back to where I started, he would not try again,
absolutely.
right? Thank you. Thank you,
Absolutely.
Asabri. Yes, Ishita.
Something similar on what Sabri mentioned. Putting a timeline. Usually, I don't put a timeline, but after some time, I find my own self scolding my own self. Uh, Stop it. Stop thinking about it. How much more time will you give it? And then,
Yes.
then moving on. That okay? What now? What now? What now? Yeah.
So when we are reflecting, it is very important to understand the circle of control. Was it in my control? Yes. What did I learn from it? Let me take that in a bucket, keep it with me. If there were situations which were not in my control, there is no point dwelling on it any further. It is very important to understand the distinction between these two aspects. If it was an external break that was there, an external, let's say the government decided on a policy which is now affecting your business in a particular manner, and it has become very difficult for you, there is no control that you have over it. So to understand your circle of control becomes extremely important when you are reflecting also. Thank you, Shita. Perform. Do I perform under, stressful situations? Do I use stress as an energy to get things done more quickly? There are people who do that. They love stress because it gives them a lot of adrenaline, which they feel is required. Some people who are last minute performers, they will come at the last minute, sweep in, and then do it. So which category do you fall into? Do you perform with better understanding of the problem? Do you trust your intuition to give you a solution? Do you stay calm with a challenge or a stressful situation? Or do you use stress as an energy to get things done faster? There are different ways in which one can perform. So, to understand your performance style also becomes an important aspect. Every human has a limited amount of energy. Understanding when your energy peaks is the most important part. So, there's a study where they categorize people based on their sleep patterns. Are you a lion? That means a person who's an early riser. Are you a bear? That okay, I will wake up at 8 o'clock. Probably 10 o'clock, my brain will start functioning properly. Are you a wolf? Till 3 o'clock, please don't expect anything from me. My brain will not function. I will start functioning only past 3 o'clock, but at night, Srividya is saying she's a bear. At night, I am going to be at my peak. And there are people like that. And then there are these cute dolphins who don't know when their energy is peaking. They don't know that. So analyze you. What are you? Are you a dolphin? Are you a lion? Are you a bear? Or are you a wolf? Because at that point of time is what is going to lead to maximum. Okay, Shida is a dolphin. That is going to lead to maximum performance from your end. Some people are early risers. They can achieve a lot in the morning. They don't function after a certain time period. And it is feasible to change it also. You can train yourself to become, probably if you're a dolphin, you can sit and analyze, okay, these are certain situations where it works. If you're a bear, you can become a wolf or a lion. I was a bear, now I've become a wolf, unfortunately. I don't know how, but it has happened. Shanti says she's a lion pretending to be a dolphin. Wonderful. So, analyze where your energies are and how you can utilize it better to gain that learning agility in your life. Innovate, we already discussed. Experiment with new ideas, challenge the status, try to achieve the best of what is there available, and choose the most readily available solution. So, which is it that you want to do? And lastly, we have defend, the one derailer that we talk about. Do I consider my personal role in both success and failure? Do I seek feedback because I need it? Do I listen to feedback because others want to give it? Okay, fine. You want to give me feedback? Please go ahead and give it. I feel like I've done the best, and I don't think there is anything else that I could have done. But you still want to give feedback? Please go ahead and give it. There are people who work in this scenario also, and there are certain people who willingly move forward. I think I have not done up to my best, but what is your opinion? I would like to know more. Are you a person who feels, who attaches their personal role in success and failure? This, if I failed, I think it is my responsibility. If I succeeded, that is also because of me. Take credit for success and quickly make excuses for failure. Like, unfortunately, Horst Rodder, he's become the scapegoat of the entire, workshop today. So Horst Rodder is the person I keep referring to. I need somebody when I'm talking about these terms. So, lastly, not lastly, there's still a little more. Learning agility matrix. We have this X and Y axis. On Y, we have the learning ability, and on X, we have the learning willingness. There are going to be 4 quadrants in this. But before I move to this matrix, I would like to give a disclaimer. The matrix does not define us. It is going to be very variable, very dependent, which we will talk a little more about in detail. First is the average. They are low in ability and low towards the willingness as well. They they believe that it's okay, this is what I am aware of, and I don't think I am capable enough to change. They absolutely believe that. Minimal initiative, they avoid change, they constantly need direction, and very low on ownership. Again, not trying to label anyone here. Then comes the latent. People who are high on the ability. They know they are capable. They are aware. The experts that we spoke about. They know that they have the expertise in that field. I'm already aware of everything. What new can you teach me? I have been in this field for 20 years. What new are you going to bring on the table? These are the latent. They, they are resistant to feedback, comfortable with what they are, and love talking about the past. This is what I had achieved in the past. Just a thought, the risk potential of these people in the latent category is very low. What do you think is stopping them from learning?
Even though
They
their
have
learning
just
ability is very high, their risk
Yes,
appetite is low, is what you're saying.
yes, because the willingness is very low. So the risk appetite is low.
Okay.
Yes, Shanti. So the ego that, I am so and so. Anything else?
they're comfortable in what they are doing and they don't want to move out of that zone.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love being in my chair. I love my chair so much. I am absolutely not going to move forward. Anyway, I am very comfortable with it. Sri Vidya says they are satisfied with their current knowledge. Yes, they are satisfied with their current knowledge. There was this quote Never be satisfied. The day you are satisfied is the day you stop growing. And that is absolutely true. If today I am satisfied that this is the best, and I don't think there's anything beyond this that can be achieved by me or by anybody for that matter, I stop my growth then and there. Not ready to learn, unlearn, and relearn or something new. Very true, Ashwin. Thank you. Anything else? Fear of failure, where they're so afraid that they'll fail that they don't want to do anything. The fear of failure is gripping them to a large extent. Then we have the enthusiasts. This is my favorite category. The enthusiast is my favorite category. They are the cheerleaders. They are absolutely willing. They might be low on ability. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but it's okay. I'll do it. Let me try. They are the enthusiasts, very high on willingness. Any thoughts on this?
Ability is less and there's no production of outcome. I'm wondering how they will keep up their enthusiasm.
But I think when enthusiasts are getting into it, they somewhere know that it may not work. And the beauty of enthusiasts is that because they are so willing to try every time, they eventually start developing the ability.
Mm.
They are so comfortable with the unknown, as Sri Vidya said. I love to know the unknown. I hope I understood the statement correctly. They're so comfortable with being in the unknown space that yes, today I'll try this, it'll not work. Okay, at least I'll say I tried, did not work for me. Somewhere I'll start developing an ability towards it.
Living in an enthusiast zone for a very long time in my career. Um, of course, that's a past tense. Um, the enthusiasm actually comes from the unknown, how you mentioned that I don't know this. How is it even possible? I don't know this. Let's try.
Let's try.
So, yeah.
Yes, very
And
true.
yes, Ashwin says it rightly. They get bored very easily. The
Hum.
routine work
That,
is something
yes,
that's very
yes.
Yes,
That
tedious.
I
is,
I
yeah.
I have one person in the team. When we are talking about this enthusiast, I'm just recollecting him. He's from the designing team, okay. And when we got him, is a pretty much new fresher that we got him into the team. And he is one person, he cannot stick by one thing for more than a week. He wants to learn new, learn new, learn new. And we were launching a new app. And he's like, I have to always sit on this new app. I want to learn something new. These enthusiasts, they want to learn new, but they don't want to finish up that completely, what they have learned, apply it, complete it, and then move forward and learn the new things.
The
They
new
are,
thing. True.
easily bored. Okay, I learned, now I want to go and do next. They don't want to
Next.
apply it fully. That's where I feel, the Gen Zs are really very great, but sometimes the enthusiasm that they show, they don't apply it 100% and they want to move ahead for the next opportunity ahead that they would see in.
True. Very true. To me, enthusiasts a little bit like a kangaroo. Always jumping, very
Yeah.
excited, very enthusiastic. So that's how I visualize enthusiasts. And
It
lastly,
actually
yeah,
interests us, right? To see them how they show that enthusiasm to learn more.
enthusiasm.
They learn very well. They know everything about it. But when it
Yes.
comes to time to apply, they say, I have done 100 times. I don't want to do it more. Actually, they have not done even for 1 or 2 times. That's
Once.
what it is.
Last, we have the high potential people. They have the willingness and they have the ability, both willing and able. Just a quick question. If today you had to hire somebody, which of these would you hire and why? No right, no wrong. It's your choice. You're running a company, let's say, you're the boss. you want to hire, which of these would you hire and why? Okay, would need all of them. Yes.
Yeah, that also depends upon the type of role and the level of seniority, which
Yes.
will help me decide if I'm hiring an intern for something. I would prefer an enthusiast.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm hiring for a very senior level, then I would want to settle for at least high potential.
Mm-hmm. Any other thoughts? Anyone?
And just thinking out loud, correct me if it is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Is it not that every professional goes through this channel in some way or the other while they grow in their
Yes,
role?
absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
mean, they touch all these four buckets for depends upon how much time they are spending on
On
in
it.
each bucket, but they are kind
Yes.
of touch basing all the buckets.
So, as you and Shanti, both of you said, ideally from all the buckets, if it's a routine job where, very administrative work, I need a person who is at least an average because I know that they require to be in that area where they are willing to learn a little bit, they have the ability to do that kind of work. And there are certain things where I need high potential, as you mentioned, Dishita, probably the top people that I have. And then if I want to bring in a change in my organization, let's say I am bringing a new software, then I need these enthusiasts because they are the flag bearers of the change. Haha, let's try. Let's try. They're the flag bearers of the change. So I need them. And I need the latent also because they are the ones who are the expertise. If I fall into a situation where I'm not aware of what should be the next step, but because of their expertise, I am aware now. They help me. So I need people from all these buckets. Now, an activity, again, not labeling, it's just a reflection on where are you in this bucket. For that, I will quickly share my whiteboard. Please allow me a minute. Please let me know if my whiteboard is visible. Okay, and I think it's accessible. Okay,
Yes.
so you see these stars? All you need to do is pick up the star, drag it to whichever one, you know, one, only one. Please don't pick more than one box. Only one box where you feel you fit in. Shanti is saying she's at the center. I'll let you know why she said that. Probably let me understand. I hope I understand why she said it. So I'll try and give a perspective on this. Okay, somewhere between high potential and enthusiast. There are a couple people between those. Okay, wonderful. Anyone else left to? I know Srividya is driving, so it would be difficult for her. Vivek, Rishav, where do you people lie on this? Shrinu,
The word high potential is giving me heebie the jeebies. I want to move my star a little more up, but I'm not so confident for high potential. It will enter the high potential zone. Then I will start comparing myself. Where is my
true,
potential standing? And then I'll bring it down.
true, very true. It's okay. You can probably be between high potential and enthusiast
Uh,
also.
then I'll
Okay,
go more right. I
okay.
think that
You'll go
would
a
be,
little more right. Okay,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
wonderful.
yeah.
Asavri, okay. Vivek is outside. You guys are outside on the grid. Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Asavri. Asavri is also between this. Okay, I am 100% here. I am 100% an enthusiast. I identify with the kangaroo. Okay, wonderful. So I think I've got most of the people have placed themselves on this grid. Srividya says she's between latent and hypotension. Okay, so Srividya, let's say Srividya is here. That's Srividya. Okay, now as I mentioned, or as we were discussing, it's very easy for people to keep moving between these. It is not fixed. The learning agility matrix is not fixed. Hence, Shanti's star is absolutely at the right place. Because sometimes she is going to be an average where she will be unwilling and unwilling to learn and will probably be like, I don't have the ability also to do it. And I'm not willing to change. It's okay. Sometimes she's going to be an enthusiast where she's going to say that, yes, I'm willing to learn. Let me see how I can do it. Let me read some books. Let me listen to some audios. Let me listen to some podcast and let me figure things out. And high potential areas of expertise for her where she's constantly trying to get better, and certain areas where she is an expert and she knows that I have tried and I have tested and I know that this is what works. Hence, she is at the center. It depends on the person, the situation, and what is there to learn. If today somebody tells me, please learn a guitar, I will become an average. I don't have any interest in learning a guitar. And hence my ability is also zero. But if somebody tells me, learn this rule book of a new board game, because it is my area of interest, I will automatically become an enthusiast and develop myself in a way that I move to high potential. So I will constantly keep switching between these. So this matrix is there to understand where you are on based on many situations, many things where your teammates are, so that you can perform better in a coherent way with your team. Okay, I think I'll stop sharing because people have started to draw here. So I'll stop and I will move back. I hope my screen is visible.
Yeah, we see your presentation.
Okay, thank you. Just 1 second. Now, how do you
We see
develop?
your
We can
presenter
see the
view,
speaker
Akansha.
notes also.
Sorry, can you please repeat?
Yeah, Shita, go ahead.
We see your presenter view.
Oh, you see my presenter view. Okay, sorry. So, how do you develop the mindset of a learning agile person? Challenge pre existing mindsets. Always ask for different perspectives. Look for common threads. What worked, what did not work. Look for those common threads. Reflect on the past as we've discussed. Take risks. You're going to fail, yes, but do take the risk and be resilient. A learning agile person cannot be boggled down by failure. I will fail, I know that. Today I'm failing on this aspect of things, tomorrow I might fail on something else entirely. But I need to have a resilient mindset. Coming to a wonderful book that I was reading called Outliers. This book is by Malcolm Gladwell, where he talks about why certain people are very successful in what they do. What is it about them that makes it different? What do they do? Now, there are certain things about when I was reading this book, there are certain things that stood out for me. And I'm going to share two such examples from this book. This example is about deliberate experimentation. So, this person, as a teenager, gained unusually early access to computer. And at that time, computers was a very rare resource. Instead of simply using the computer and then, just learning the basics that was being taught or something, he decided to spend thousands of hours experimenting, doing different things, solving problems, writing codes. So much so that it was like he created his own learning lab. Thank you, Shanti. Any idea on who this person is?
Steve
Any
Jobs.
guesses? Steve Jobs, okay, close. think about a time where computer was a rare resource. Any guesses? Random. Any random guesses?
I'll take one more random guess.
Please.
Narayan Murthy.
No.
Right.
Yes. Vivek, Rishav, any guesses on who this person could be?
For guessing it, do we go back to in the timeline what Asavri mentioned, or forward in the timeline?
A little close to Narayana Murthy is what I would say, but not an Indian.
Tim Cook.
No. Would you like me to give the answer?
Yeah.
Yes.
Does this change or does this ring a bell?
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates. Yes, it is Bill Gates. Whoever said it, I don't know whether it was Rishabh, Ashwin, or Rishabh. Okay. So Bill Gates is the person. He deliberately took steps to learn towards this. Next, we have stretch experiences, where this band would perform their set each night in Germany at different locations with different kind of audience. They weren't they weren't just practicing songs, they were actually adapting constantly, learning, improvising with the kind the people were reacting. They chose to do this every single night, and that's how they became a global sensation. Any guesses?
BTS or Michael Jackson?
Beatles. Yes, it is Beatles. So, some simple tips to develop a learning agile mindset: be aware of your responses and audit them. See what kind of responses are you giving to situations. Are you defending, deflecting? What kind of responses are you giving? Start doing activities that make your frontal cortex strong. Simple activities like, let's say, if you brush with your right hand, start brushing with your left hand. Bring a change in your daily routine. If you have a habit of ordering food online, food by food, I mean vegetables. If you have a habit of ordering vegetables online, for a change, go to the vegetable market and buy certain vegetables. Give your brain the sensory stimulation to do something different. Not possible in Bangalore, but otherwise, when you're going somewhere from point A to B, try a different route. Sit in silence for 5 minutes and watch your thoughts. Just, it's not meditation, just think about let your thoughts pass by. It's okay. But sit for 5 minutes, be idle. Let the brain rewire itself in that way. And not last, practice humming bee. Humming bee is proved to be the most effective method of developing frequencies which helps your brain focus to a very high extent. Based on the kind of focus and everything that you need, practice humming bee. It also helps when your brain is tired. Identify durations in the day when your energy is at its high, something that we spoke about. Are you a lion? Are you a bear? Are you a wolf? Are you a dolphin? Last, we have a quote by Laszlo Bock, who was a senior vice president at Google in the people operations department. And he says that they found out that learning agility is the leading predictor of success, even above intelligence and education. Now, I would love to hear what are your biggest takeaways from today's session. Anyone? While people are sharing, I would also love your opinion on how this was.
I can go first.
Yes, Ishita, please.
I would love to step a little bit back and go back to the enthusiast mode a little more often. It may not be possible to stay there for a very long time, um, because of multiple reasons. But then, yeah, going on and off there will keep my adrenaline sources high, and then it will help me explore something new too.
Wonderful. Thank you, Ishita. Anybody else? Would love to know your biggest takeaway from today's session.
I think for me, it's like, don't worry about the outcome.
Mhm.
It's important what learnings you are taking from, what we are doing.
Yes,
There might be a risk involved, there might be a, failure coming through, but the learnings is what we need to more focus on.
focused on. Yes, thank you so much, Rizwana. Ashwin, Srividya, Vivek, Srinu, anything from your end? What was your biggest takeaway?
So every day I want to do something different, like taking different route. What you mentioned that using left hand more.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the takeaway I taken from this session.
Okay, thank you. My takeaway is in the zone of enthusiast and high potential when I can avoid being, okay, put slash postpone. Okay, thank you, Srividya. Please do leave your opinions as well on how this was. It'll help us a lot. Anybody, anything else?
I mean, that was pretty insightful, where you provided clarity on what learning agility is not,
Mm-hmm.
to not get stuck at thinking and
Mm-hmm.
begin with doing. That would be my biggest takeaway.
Thank you, Savri. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Okay, I think we'll stop sharing now. Thank you so much, everyone. I had an absolute wonderful time talking to everyone, knowing everyone's opinion on how things are, what their learning agility style is, also somewhere. And loved knowing how many people are lions, bears, dolphins. Loved it. Thank you so much, all of you. Looking forward to seeing you probably tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you, Srividya. Looking forward to seeing all of you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.